All right, there we are. Okay, so cool. Some people are slowly jumping on here. And so this is going to be a live video. We want to talk about some kingdom finance stuff again. You guys, I know many of you that are even going to watch the replay of this are going to really, really enjoy this. So um, we're just going to wait for a couple people. Hey, do us a favor. Tell us where you're watching this from. Just be interested to see where you're watching this on the side. So, um, yeah, so a few people are already jumping on.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. Well, awesome. Well, this is a wonderful friend of ours, Justin Kim, and he's got a company called TradeTips, and you're based in LA, right?
Yes, currently based in LA.
Yeah, and so you basically do trading in the stock market for your main income, right?
Right. So my full-time income for the last 7 years has been solely from trading in the stock market. Right.
Wow.
Brief history before that, I was working in startups. Before that, I was in the Marine Corps. And that's
Oh,
actually where I started my financial literacy, was actually in the Marine Corps itself.
wow. 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 That's awesome. That's great. So we got some people coming on here from Oregon and some other different places as well. And so very cool. Awesome. Let us know where you guys are all watching this from. It just kind of lets us know where the impact is. So we'd love to hear, shoot over in the side. As we go along, you can ask Justin some questions. So we met you, well, not met you in person, but we found out about you here not that long ago from your YouTube channel. No, excuse me, originally your YouTube channel, and then we found you on TikTok.
Mhm.
So what do you do there?
Yeah, so on TikTok, pretty much, I'm trying to educate the audience how to get interested, how to get started in the stock market, right? The big reason why I did that was when I first started investing in the stock market, I was asking all my Marine buddies, all my friends, and no one really knew how to invest. Only one friend knew actually how to invest, and he actually works with me now. It's Kenny on our
Oh
Discord,
yeah, I like
but
him.
he's the one that interests me how to trade. But I realized there's such a huge gap because they don't teach you how to trade stocks in school. They don't even teach you what that is.
Right.
And there's a very interesting statistic which says 90% of all stocks are owned by the top 10 wealthiest people in America.
Wow.
Right. So that means, there's the rest of us, the 90% of us who are just working 9 to 5. And I always tell this to all my friends, and some of them are construction. I'm like, hey, you're young now. Yeah, you could do construction 12-hour days. But let's think about when you're 50 or 60, you
Right.
can't be pulling those same exact hours. You got to do something for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I totally agree. And I heard a statistic too, Justin, that 20% of Americans that become millionaires did so in the stock market.
Mhm.
I think it's like 70% in real estate, 20% in the stock market, and 10% inheritance and won it and other
Right.
different ways. But the vast majority is through investing and stuff. And so um, wow, that's interesting. What an
Mhm.
interesting story. So 7 full years of doing this. This is not just a side gig for you. This is the main
Right.
thing and stuff. And so really, Justin? What kind of people are you talking about? Should invest and stuff?
So the entire service that I created, which is Trade Tips, it stems from I wanted to help my friends, right? So the
Right.
people that my friends are working regular jobs, and not the stereotypical stock trader where you have to be on your computer like this 24/7, looking at computers all day. So it's just really for anyone and everyone who wants to get
Right.
started in the stock market journey, or at least started investing.
Nice. And so even people, I mean, basically that really don't even know what stocks and options really are. I mean,
Right. So the whole reason why we have our service is because, like I said, most people have no idea what stock they should buy or what even options are, and the only thing they'll probably hear is maybe from social media or your uncle telling you to buy some random stock that they heard from their friend at the bar, right? So
Yeah.
what we do is we're literally telling you what my team and I are doing every single day. So every single day, you have me who can't be in front of the computer, who is looking at the charts, who's reading the news, who's obviously I'm trading myself. And the beautiful thing about the stock market is if you're investing in the same company I'm investing, we're not competing with each other, right? Like if I was trying to sell you a product and I was like, hey, this product will make a ton of money,
Right.
inherently I'm competing with myself. But the
Right.
stock market's a beautiful place where if I make money, you make money, and we're not hurting each other at all. There's
Right.
opportunity for everybody to make money at the same time, buying the exact same thing.
And so, okay, so boil it down, dummy it completely
Mhm.
down. If I'm not mistaken, stocks are basically a share or a piece of a company. In other words, a company that goes public, that means they have to give up 51% ownership to the general public. Is that about right?
Right. So pretty much, how you could say, hey, buy an Apple stock or buy a Tesla stock. Essentially, what you are doing is you're buying a very, very small percentage of the actual company.
Okay, that makes sense. And then so
Right.
then an option would be it's like not rent but or insurance. But how do you
Right.
describe
So
what
option is a leveraged form of trading, right? So what that means is it gives traders like ourselves the opportunity to have much more bigger exposure into the stock market than we normally would. Here's a good example is Tesla stock, right? I think Tesla stock today is at check. Tesla stock right now to buy one share of Tesla will cost you $270. Right. And that's a
wow,
lot of money for some people. $207 to buy only one share is a lot. But with
yeah,
options, it kind of gives you leverage. So with that same $275, it gives you the option, right? It's the name, the option to buy 100 shares for that exact same price. But you're selling and buying contracts. It's a much more complicated form of trading stocks, but essentially it's the same thing. If it goes up, you'll make money. The beautiful part about options is that if it goes down, you also make money as well with options trading.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah, very cool. So obviously, fantastic, great way of making extra money. Listen, you guys that are watching this, we got people watching on our YouTube. Some are watching on Facebook. Kind of a combination. Let us know in the comments. Number one, where you're from. Number two, any questions that you got about it. Stock options trading really is what we're really talking about. So okay, so Justin, let me just ask you this. So, what about somebody who has no experience in it at all?
Right. So let me take you through like a typical journey of someone that trades with us, right?
Right.
We're like, hey, you want to trade with us? No problem. So you join our service, you join our Discord, you also join our texting messages service. So essentially, what we're doing there is we're holding your hand every single step of the way. The same exact way that I had to learn all the terms, the terminology, what a stock looks like, those crazy patterns you see in the stock market, what all of those means. We have educational resources for you to learn all that stuff, right? We kind of
Wow.
break it down step by step by step, so that you have an easier time of understanding, right? That's one. Number two is we're actually going to tell you what what stocks I'm buying every single day.
Got
So just this morning, hey guys, I'm buying this stock right now. Here are the reasons why. You guys should get in on it too if you want to copy my trades.
Interesting. And so then, so it's not just learning from you, it's also they can kind of piggyback on you and then kind of see what you're doing and see if it's a good move for them as
Right.
well. And
So
uh,
essentially, instead of you calling up your crazy uncle for stock advice, hey, you could call me instead, who's an
yeah,
actual professional who's been doing it for 7 years,
yeah,
and I'll be giving you the advice. And I think you could trust me more than your uncle on stock trading, especially with the experience. And
yeah.
that's kind of how we have it set up, where with the text messaging and kind of how we chat with each other in the community.
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. Okay. Well, here's a great example. We were talking about this beforehand. Whoops. Let me go back. Sorry. There we go. So what are we looking at, Justin? What are we
Yeah.
looking at right now?
So this is typically something that we'll post up in our chat room. One of our analysts will look at, hey guys, this is what we're looking at right now. Obviously, if you're a beginner and you look at this is like all very confusing. Like, what are all these green lines, these red lines, those blue lines across the way. What does it all mean? Essentially, if I'm looking at this chart, we're telling you, hey, I think it's a good time to enter into these buy Apple stock here at this level, right?
Okay.
But I understand for a beginner, it'd be very hard for people to understand what it is.
Right.
So we're actually going to tell you, hey, buy Apple at this price at this time. We go so that there's no possible way, even if you don't understand it right now, I get it, but you could understand, hey, if I told you to buy Apple stock right now, you'll buy Apple stock based on
Right.
this chart.
Right.
And then we kind of break it down for you in the explanation.
I see. And so kind of in a dummied down format or form. What are we looking at? So here's a one of your stock tips from
Mhm.
this last day or two, and so this is Hood. So what is going on in this stock?
So right
Basically,
now, what we're seeing in this stock is we're seeing a potential breakout, right? So that blue transparent line on top
yep,
it's letting us know, hey, every time if we go into the very beginning of this chart, we'll see every time it hits this blue line, it rejects downward, right? It
got
goes
it.
down, and then the third time, which is the way end, I meant to reverse my statement. We're actually betting on Hood either going down if it rejects off it, or if it breaks above it, then it'll go up. Again, it's kind of no one ever predicts the market accurately, so we use these charts to make a more better educated guess. Again, like I was saying, if I knew what this market was going to do every single time, 100%, I would own the building I'm at instead of renting it.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So this is QQQ, which
Mhm.
is Nasdaq, right?
Right.
So this is Nasdaq, and so this is another example of one of your tips that
Right.
was on your Discord.
Again, right, we do basic technical analysis. There are two type of analysis we do in the stock market. One is fundamental, and the other one is technical. Technical analysis means, hey, let's look at the chart, like you see here, and see where we could predict where the price will go. So in this case, that red line up top, again,
Yep.
going back to the same thing we saw the last chart, every time it hits this kind of top area, it goes
Yep.
down. So you
Right.
see the second time it hit that top area, and the big grid candles happen, it went down, just like we made the arrow pointing downward, because we told ourselves our hypothesis was this is the top. If it hits this price point again, we could make a bet that it'll go down, and that's how we profit.
And so, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the splash in the stock market is really done by banks. So when somebody has $500 and they put it in their bank account, it doesn't stay in the bank. The bank takes it out and puts it in the stock market. Correct?
Right. So essentially, what we're doing here is we're taking the power away from your Roth IRA or your banks or the hedge funds, and we're telling you, hey, you could invest yourself. And
Right.
these are the charts that they use. These are the exact same strategies that the major hedge funds use, the big bank investment bankers use. They're seeing the exact same thing you are. We're just telling you, hey, now you can control your own money for yourself. By any chance, do you have a picture of our Discord, or could you pull a Discord up?
You know what? I don't, but I can. Give me 1 second. That's no problem. And let me Discord. Let me pull that up. Yeah. Now we've only spoken here over the last couple of weeks, I guess, somewhere
Mhm.
around there. And so, but it's been super interesting to see. Let me see here. I'm trying to get to. You want the day trades one, right?
Or even the $500 challenge one. We could kind of.
Okay.
There's a really good example today. I think you could go off of.
Okay. So let me share my screen, everybody. So hang loose a second. And I'm going to stop that screen. And I'm going to try share screen, Discord. All right. Hold on to your hats. Let's see if this works.
Cool. So
Okay.
now you guys, for everyone watching, you get an inside look at what our active members see every single day, right? And this is our $500 challenge where one of our analysts started an account with $500, and every single day they're trading options on it. So just like today, how I was talking about how yes, the charts can be all complicated, So we want to hold your hand every single step of the way, and
Hmm.
we're going to tell you, just like you see here, exactly what to buy, and not only what to buy, but what's also important to know when to sell. Right? The whole mantra about the stock market is buy low, sell high. Yeah, you know when to buy, but most people have a hard time knowing when to sell. And here we are, holding your hand, letting you know, hey, sell this GameStop option for 31% profit, and you can see that screenshot right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. 31%. Wow. I mean, that's pretty good for what, one day?
I think it was only just today, so only a couple hours, not even a whole
Only a
day.
couple hours. So can you imagine a bank tries to tell you they did you a favor with 2% a year,
Mhm.
and you're getting 31% in a day there. Someone had a quick question.
Right.
Jeff did. Are stock options a lot riskier than stock ownership?
So the yes, the answer is yes. So the return is a lot higher, high risk, high reward. That's what
Right.
options trading is. Like I said, in this case, right, we went 31% in just a few hours. Um, what we do to mitigate the downside is we always look for the best possible trades out there. And also, if you go to our trade log in our trade tips hub, we kind of have a 72% win rate. So as long as we're winning more than we're losing in options trading, we're always going to make money.
Right.
But of course, stock ownership is the most least riskiest thing, especially if you're planning holding for a long term process.
Yeah. Uh, Jacqueline just wrote she bought a share of a stock. What does it benefit her? I mean, I would just say it's just, I mean, you don't have to hold it. You can sell it
Mhm.
as it grows. Or, I mean, I mean, can you imagine if you would have bought Apple 30 years ago and you still held it? I mean, so, um, yeah, I mean, that would be quite a bit more money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But an option, on the other hand, is much more aggressive.
Right. It's a lot more aggressive. So a good example is in this case for GameStop, we bought GameStop options. So when I think the GameStop option only went up about 2% today, but with option trade, like I said, it's a lot more leverage trading. So the
Yeah.
returns are a lot higher. So just for that, instead of buying stock for 2% gain, we bought options instead and made 31% gains instead. And
Here
to
at
answer,
XOM, it looks like XOM did 51%.
right, and then we bought XOM, I think it was last week. And there we go. Here we go. We just waited a bit and it's up 51%. And you can see all those numbers right there. And we tell you exactly when to sell. And to answer Jacqueline's question, right, if you bought the stock, your benefit is that as the company grows, your stock value also grows as well.
Right.
So let's say, for example, Tom was just talking about Apple, right? If you bought Apple 10, 20 years ago, yes, it was only worth maybe $10. But in those in that 20 years, Apple has grown to a $3 trillion company. That value of that stock you bought is now, instead of being worth $10, is now worth $100. So that's the value of stock ownership. And going back to our way, way beginning, talking about investments, this is a very key example of making your money work for you.
Right. Okay. That's great. No, that's fantastic. And so here's the $1 million question.
Right.
Okay, so most people, just a little bit of breathing room goes a long ways. So is it possible with a small amount of money,
Mhm.
Justin, to start to make an extra $100 a day?
Yeah. So that's very possible. And we have a ton of our members posting their screenshots every day of how much money they're making following our signals, right? So we just saw two signals that returned. One was 50% and one was 31%, right? And
Yep.
so to make $100, all you had to do was invest $200 and you would have made $100 right there. Or even this morning, if you invested $300 and you made 30%, that's $100 right there, right?
Interesting. Yeah, fantastic. Fantastic. That's great, because so many people, I know that a lot of people have just they've always asked the proverbial question, can I do it as like a part-time job and stuff?
Right.
But somebody wrote a question here about trading fees. Justin, in trading tips, they give you signals. You choose the platform. So in other words, you're choosing your own platform, whether Robinhood, Webull,
Mhm.
Thinkorswim, whatever it is, or TD Ameritrade. You do your own choosing and stuff. That's right, isn't it, Justin?
Exactly. And for beginners, I highly recommend Robinhood or Webull. It's just very intuitive to use those two services. The
Yeah,
other brokers are very complicated and kind of archaic in their usability.
yeah. Fantastic,
Yeah.
fantastic. And so then you begin to kind of, if I'm not mistaken, you begin to kind of demystify and explain, so to speak, in your
Mhm.
Discord. You start to explain, here, this is what's going on here. This is what's going on over here. Here, nothing's going on in this one over here. Just leave it alone.
Right. So exactly what we're talking about. A good story I tell people that I talk the story to is one of my really good friends, and I've known him for a while, maybe 5, 6 years. And I tell him, "Hey, how come you don't invest in the stock market? I do it. I'm making money for it. You guys should do it too. You should do it too." And he comes up to me like, "Oh man, I don't feel comfortable. I think it's a scam." And that's kind of where I realized like, oh man, people really don't understand what the stock market is. And
No,
I think it's the Wolf of Wall Street movie, the Boiler Room movie, that kind of makes stock market trading like scummy and scammy and only for computer nerds who could be on their computer typing like this, making money. And with the advent of technology, honestly, sometimes I'm traveling all the time. I trade on my phone. I'm just doing whip up, done, 5 minutes in and out. And that's exactly how I formatted our service. Is I wanted for those people who can't do that computer time. I want you to just be on your phone, enter into a trade, and then go about your day. And then
yeah,
when I text you later, hey, sell that thing I told you to buy a couple hours ago. Oh, cool. All right, take your 30 seconds, log in, sell, and go about your day.
yeah. Nice, nice. I mean, wow, that's fantastic. Well, and the beauty of option trading is you could get started with $50. I mean,
Mhm.
really, and start to invest very, very small amounts. And I met some people that literally started so small like that, and have done very, very well for themselves over
Right.
the years. So it's
And
not like
that's
you're gambling every bit of money you
right.
got, in every trade.
And nor do I tell people to gamble everything or put all the money in that they can. Like you just saw in our Discord, we started a $500 challenge. So we're challenging ourselves as stock traders and analysts. Hey, we're going to start an account with only $500, and we're going to try to turn that account through day trading, through options trading, and see how high we get. And as you just saw, we just had two back-to-back trades giving us 50%, 30%. And it's actually a really good follow-up point is, you know, people need to treat this as a skill set, as a way to make money, and not treat it like, oh, I'm gonna throw all my money into it. And we preach very, very strongly every single day, you know, treat this like it's a job, right? Once you treat it with that serious amount of manner, then you start seeing those wins keep piling up, and eventually, hopefully, you guys can do it full time and not have to work manual labor anymore and just sit on your computer like I get to do.
Yeah, yeah, nice. So, okay, one other question
Mhm.
people have said over time is, what is swing trade and what is day trade? What's the difference?
Right. So right now there's this huge fad on social media about day trading, right? And the thing with day trading is, I talked about options trading in general, how there's inherent risk to it. Because yes, you're never going to be 100% right. So sometimes you may lose your initial investment. So
Right.
with day trading, typically what they do is they only trade within that 8 hour period that the stock market is open, right? What that means is in that 8 hour period, you're going to see a lot of volatility in your investment. Swing trading is when you're holding a single position for a week or up to a month. Now, the reason why I separate the two is because when you day trading is a lot more advanced strategy, and it should be for those that can be on their phones or on the computer at a minute's notice. Because again, you only have the 8 hour time span as opposed to months or even weeks, right?
Nice. Nice. Yeah, so people aren't stuck on that. That's a great benefit of it. And so the swing trade, like you told me, you
Mhm.
said you actually like swing trading better because you don't even have to look at it until
Right.
maybe even the next day.
Right, exactly. And again, most of trading is a mental game, and if you're constantly looking at your phone, again, we have the option of people that want to day trade. Like I said, we have 4 analysts on our team, and 2 of those guys love that day trading lifestyle. You know, that hectic, fast paced lifestyle. I'm more of a slow, take it easy. I want to chill by the pool, relax. I don't want to be looking on my phone all the time.
Right.
So I have adopted a longer term mentality, swing trading, which again, right, like you said, I enter it today and I probably won't even look at it until next
Right.
couple days or next week.
Okay. So, kind of jumping back to something you said earlier.
Mhm.
So here's my question: Is this is you brought up the $500 challenge? So, so what have you done in the past with just $500? I mean, some people, kind of mock, ridicule, like, you can't do anything with $500.
Right,
But what have you done? Yeah, in just, like say a month or two? Have you turned
right.
that into 1,000 or what?
Yeah, so I mean, even just going off of this current challenge that we're doing right now, we turned that $500 into I think like 750 that very first week, right? So 50% gain that very first week. Personally, our analysts, I've turned $500 into $6,000 in a period of 2 months, right?
Wow.
Because I was just challenging myself, like, hey, I know I could do it with a lot of money, but not everyone has access to a lot of money. So
Right.
what can I do with a small amount of money, and how much can I maximize my growth? Now, caveat, right? Obviously, I'm a more experienced trader, and
Right.
I know exactly how to in and out, so I'm able to take a little bit more risk.
Right.
But with this challenge, the main goal isn't to no, this $500 isn't going to turn to $1 million, right? Realistically, it probably won't, but
Right.
it is going to teach you the skills, and it probably will return maybe to $1,000, maybe $1,500. And if you really think about it, turning your money 3x is, you cannot do this anywhere, right? Unless you're literally going to Vegas, there's
Right.
no way that I'm gonna turn this stack of money into 3 times just
Right.
by sitting on my computer all day,
Right.
except through options trading.
Right. Right. Okay. Very cool. I know several of you who are watching this, you're looking for secondary money. Maybe 500 to $1,000 a week would just give you some really good breathing room. Just those who are watching from the US, but we got people watching right now from New Zealand. We got people on here from South Africa. And so you're not limited. You can actually jump on Justin's website. It's right there below us. It's tradetips.io. And so tradetips.io. And he's actually wanting to bless you guys because we kind of became friends here. And in becoming friends, he said, hey, listen, I want to do a deal. So maybe you want to share that with them.
Yeah, so if you guys use the code Tom 2023, capital there, right there, your very first month with us is only going to be $1, right? So we're actually losing money on this because we're paying for all the text messaging and the services. And the reason why I wanted to make it $1 for everyone here was, one, right, you guys are friends with Tom, but two is, I don't want you to pay me money until you make money, right? When you make money, then you could pay me, right? I don't want any of your money until you make money first. And because I believe in what we do, and we've a solid, consistent track record of being successful, I'm
Yeah.
able to offer this confidently, knowing that, hey, in a month when you've made $300-400, then okay, I'm comfortable with Justin. I could trust him, and hey, I could pay him the monthly charge.
Okay, very cool. So all they got to do is just go to, if you're interested, again, you can check this out. I know many of you have so many people that know our ministry. We've had people call and say, "Hey, I'm a single mom," or my husband lost his job, whatever, or just things are tight. Just over the last few years, the economy's just gone right in the toilet, and a loaf of bread is almost 3 times as much as it was. I mean, to go to the grocery store, it's a gallon of milk is over over double what it was.
Mhm.
A gallon of gas was almost triple. you
Right.
know, and so consequently, I know some of you are looking for a secondary source of income. That's why when I found out about Justin, I thought, you know what? This would be a tremendous blessing to some of you who are watching this, and some of you who are maybe in a church group, or maybe you've got, I don't know, maybe you got some friends who just, you want to make some extra money. And so many people waste their money on those stupid multi-level marketing companies. And you work it. And at the end, the only guy making money is the guy at the top.
Right.
And that's why I thought, you know what? This is a proven way as far as the stock market. I mean, obviously, anything you can lose your money. So you have to have some wisdom as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I loved what Justin brought on twofold. One is training. Two is not only training, but is also they've got computer bots. Isn't that what it is? Explain
Right.
that. What is?
Yeah. So on our Discord, we have a few AI bots that kind of, again, there's almost, thousands and thousands of publicly traded companies. There's no way four of us could track all of it at once, right? So we
Right.
have very sophisticated tools that we use in our everyday trading that we allow all of our members to see and use as well, that tracks all the stocks and looks for the most profitable trading opportunities there. And I think it really raised a good point about, MLM versus stock trading. All those MLM companies, they always want you to buy something or sell
Yeah.
something, right? You gotta
Yeah.
sell something to make money, either insurance or oil or knives or whatever it may be. And the stock market, it's like you're investing money in Apple, you're investing money in Microsoft. You're looking at Apple as a company, Microsoft as a company, you're looking at these major companies, as opposed to selling knives. You're like, hey, I have a part of Apple. I'm investing into Apple,
Yeah.
right? And you could be,
Or
there's a
Tesla,
lot, or
or
Tesla, right? And
yeah.
these are SEC governmental regulated, so that the stock market isn't a crazy, only for the
Pyramid.
rich people, right? That anyone could do it.
Yeah, yeah, awesome, awesome. This is fantastic. Any other quick questions, you guys? You've been pretty quiet today, and oh, somebody, Jeff asked a quick question. You can swing trade with options. Yeah, that's what Justin was just sharing about. Yes. Someone else asked, what about forex? You don't deal with forex, do you?
No, so we don't deal with forex, and simply for me, it's I don't have the knowledge, right? Forex is foreign exchange currencies, and for me to be very well versed in that, you have to be very well versed in, hey, why is the yen going up? Why is the European pound going down? And already with the stock market, I'm already researching, 8 hours a day, reading news about the market, seeing what, Biden says, seeing what the government's putting out, seeing what new regulations are happening. And that's already a full-time job in itself. So we focus on what we know best, which is stocks.
Right. Yeah. Well, fantastic. I really appreciate it, Justin, and hang out with me afterwards. But nobody else has got any questions. So, hey, just I knew this would be a tremendous blessing. Many of you guys have asked for prayer for your finances, and you're like, man, I got to do something different. I got to do something different. Well, maybe this is an answer to your prayer. Go check him out. Go check out tradetips.io. And he wants to bless you. He wants to give you a phenomenal deal. I mean, that's unheard of, $1 for a month worth of free stock tips. And so he's giving it away. I mean, that's just crazy. So go for it. And I think it'll be a tremendous blessing to you guys as well. Listen, huge favor. Those of you who are on YouTube, right below me, click subscribe. Give us a thumbs up on this video if you could. Same thing on Facebook. Be our Facebook friend on Tom Scarrella Ministries. All right. Thanks so much, Justin. Appreciate you, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Tom. And thanks for everyone for tuning in and asking your questions. If you guys need help, sign up, and you can always chat with me in person on our Discord or send me a text message.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks.